What's up, Poke fans? Today we're talking about how much I already spent being in the process of creating a Pokemon card business. I did a PowerPoint. I thought it is a good way to show off what I already spent, to just structurize it a bit. My teacher would be proud of me. There's just so much hidden costs around it. If you want to create one, you can't just only buy stock and think, okay, yeah, that's it. So I'm gonna show you guys basically what I already spent and what my future costs will probably look like. And yeah, it's basically a lot. You guys will see. So let's jump right into it. First off, this will be my logo, but when it comes to an official brand logo, I will not include the Pokemon. Quick tip, guys, you need to be careful because Nintendo loves to sue, you already know it. And basically the Poke Company doesn't allow you using a Pokemon referred let it be a Pokemon or a Pokeball in your official logo. So I will put this out as my logo, but when it comes to my real brand logo, it will basically this here without the Pokemon. So this is what basically will be displayed on my website. Let's go. So to start off, I got different categories of expensive you have in creating a Pokemon card business. First off, we start with the business form, how much I spent on that. Next up, we got YouTube/social media, the website, getting stock, advertising slash business card, and future costs. So, first off, the business form. So there are a different variety of forms. It also depends on in which country you live. For example, in America, I think to get like a basic business license, you need to spend about $600, which is quite a lot. The tip I can give you guys, start small. You don't have to aim for the highest possible business form you can get. For me, because I live in Germany, it was only 20 euros for the second smallest option, and this is basically nothing. This is really good because I think I have like 100,000 euro in a year of sales volume, which is pretty good. And also if it gets over that level, I can still upgrade it. And the 20 euro I paid was even for the second smallest option. There's even like for 15 euro a little bit of a smaller option, but I thought this one for 20 euro will perfectly do fine. So that's the first 20 euro. Not starting with too much, but it gets more, guys. So next up we got YouTube, social media slash equipment. So obviously posting videos on YouTube and social media is for free, thank God, but there is a lot more to it, which is, for example, you have to buy certain softwares to cut your videos. I paid 25 euros for CapCut Premium. I can recommend CapCut Premium because it's very easy. There are a lot of good features which makes video cutting, basically learning video cutting for yourself, really easy and really good. Next up, I paid 12 euro for a Canvas membership. You can also do thumbnails. This is for the thumbnails, by the way. You can also do thumbnails in CapCut, of course, but I think Canvas just has more advanced edit functions, so compared to CapCut, because Canvas is specializing on working with pictures and making designs. So I would definitely recommend getting one for your video software and one for Canvas. So we got 25 euros and 12 euros, not too bad. Next up, I bought a webcam for 50 euro. I actually made a mistake in buying this one. This is my second webcam I bought. The first one was for like 20 euros, which was horrendous. You can see it in my first video I posted on this channel. I used my old webcam there, but I thought I get an upgrade. 50 euro is not much for a webcam. I should have gotten one for like 200 euros because you can maybe see the picture of me is quite alright, quite clear, but I had a lot of difficulty setting it up and I think it can be way better than this right now. The only reason it is acceptable is because I have a ring light on top of my webcam, which basically stabilizes the picture a bit, but also the ring light wasn't the most expensive one. So yeah, definitely have to spend some more money on that. I didn't include the ring light in this list, but the ring light was about 25 euros. I bought it on Amazon, just like the webcam. So yeah. Next point is the microphone, which was also 50 euro, my second microphone, but same mistake. I should have put more money into it because if you buy a webcam for 200 euro and a microphone for 200 euro, it might sound expensive at first, but in my opinion, those will last you probably a lifetime and you can ensure if you pick the right one that it's good quality. So I paid 100 euros for both, should have paid more, will probably pay more in the future, but it is alright for now, definitely better than my old one. So the next one might seem a little bit funny to you, which is my open closet. You can see it see it behind me. I didn't have this in the beginning, but I think it's very important if you make YouTube videos, especially about collecting and business content. You should represent it somehow, creating a nice background for your viewers to see. Because I think about it myself. If I see someone who's making Pokemon videos and he has just a white wall in the background, that's very uninteresting for me. But if I see behind him he has like all this, he has this large collection and is basically showcasing it, I personally think as a viewer it is much more interesting to watch him, and also it makes more fun looking at the background of him, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, I bought 200 for this closet from IKEA, which is pretty good in my opinion. You can see I have the nice collection I bought, which I will sell on my website, displayed very nice. So if I basically go out of stock, I hope I go out of stock, this shelf will be empty, but I will definitely work on filling it up back up again as quick as possible. I also got some other stuff I can display, so that's not the problem. But yeah, it's basically important in my opinion, so I included it in the list. So you can see the costs. This is no stock at all, and the costs are ramping up. So if you start with a small budget, you have to think about all of this and have to include it in your plan. Next up, we got the website, which is an interesting point, and there are like very different possibilities you can go on about that. So it also depends on your country, but I think Shopify is like a global thing everyone can use in every country. So I definitely recommend going with Shopify if you're starting off, because it's very easy to manage, it's cheap, and you can learn how to create your own website and design it and so on. Shopify is 40 euros for a starter website, which I originally paid, but then I found out one of my friends is actually doing web design for his job, and he basically offered me to make a website for me for 150 euro, which is an insane price. So I definitely got lucky for that. You can check out the prices in your country, how much a really professional website costs. You will be shocked, I guarantee it to you. So yeah, 150 euros for my website, which is not finished yet, but very soon, hopefully. And also you have to include the running costs of a website, which are in my country for me about 40 to 100 euro a month. I think the good thing about Shopify is that you don't have those running costs. The 40 euros you pay for your starter website include those. But I just, my personal opinion is, there's nothing wrong with Shopify. If I didn't have a friend who makes me a website, I would have used it. But I think it's just more professional to like get your own website, and it really means that you take it serious, you know? But that is not possible for most of the people because it can be really expensive creating an own website. So yeah, it is how it is. We go on. Next point in my list is getting stock, which is obviously the most costly part in this. So what I did, I went to conventions at first, which I can only recommend. Most of the YouTubers tell you don't go to conventions or try to vendor because it's a waste of time. But in my opinion, if you're just starting off and getting into the Pokemon card business space, it's really good just to go there. You don't even have to spend money there, but just like going there, watching people how they do their job, make connections, network a little. You have the ticket, which is like 40 euros on a large conventions, but that is fine. You're getting much more value out of it than you think. On my first convention, I met about 2 to 3 people, which I already made deals after the conventions, and guys, it was so worth it to go to the convention just because of that. I also bought some stock for about 1,000 euros because I made a good deal. One tip I can give you if you go to conventions and with the intention on buying stock, always bring cash, because if you bring cash, people are more willing to make a deal with you because there is no don't tell the IRS I said it, but there's no tax going on. And also don't pay the prices which are displayed on the stickers. If someone has a card for like 100 euro with the sticker displayed, you can always haggle a little and maybe get it for 80 euros. So just keep that in mind. Next up, which is the most important point, if you start a Pokemon card business, you need to make some margin on your product, so you can't pay market price, so you have to buy collections. And only way it makes sense to buy collections if you take a large amount of your money and put it into one collection. Because if you buy a lot, for example me, I bought a collection for 3,000 euros and another one for 2,000 euros, which I will make a separate video about. I didn't include this yet because I bought the second collection after I made this PowerPoint basically. So I'm just telling it to you guys. I spent about 5,000 on collections, but it was definitely worth it because I got a good deal, which also means the more money you spend on a collection, probably the better deal you get and the better deal you can make for your customers. So it's all in all, in my opinion, the best way to get stock. My biggest problem at the moment is I am starting with English product, but I live in Germany and English product is very rare here. So I am definitely a little bit scared for the future, but if it happened to get that I can't get English stock anymore, I might switch to Japanese or Chinese Pokemon. I will have something English always, but there's not always a guy around my corner where I can buy a large collection of. So we will see how I go about this in the future. I'm not too much worried about this, but it's definitely something I should keep in mind, and you maybe too, if you're going the same path as I do. Next point is the advertising slash business card. So you need to advertise if you want to sell Pokemon cards, and the best way advertising is making content like the content you're watching right now. But also, what I'm using is eBay as well and Card Market as second market or third market platforms, because even if I sell something there and I don't make any profit or margin, I created a business card which I will put in every order. So when it arrives at the person and the person already bought something from me, they will see I have my own website. Basically they will see it on the business card, and they already bought from me, so they probably are willing to buy again. And also I will have better prices on my website, which I basically also wrote on the business card: get better deals on my website. Because if you sell on the third market, you have to make the price a little bit higher, for example eBay or Card Market, because the fees those websites take are just a lot. So you have to raise the price a little bit. But if they buy from my own website directly, I can play more around with the price, so it's very important that you make some of those. I made 200 business cards, which is a decent price. I could have made like 1,000 for only a few euros more. So but I was thinking I don't need that much at the moment, or maybe I will change it in the end. This is just a starting phase, so I basically want to try things out. I will show you also my business card front and back side on the screen probably, so you can imagine how that would look like, or you can just see how that would look like. And yeah, I will also make flyers. The flyer design is not finished yet, and the flyer design is also more for when I have a website with stabilized products. For example, I decide I will have Mega Dream from Japan always in my store, so I can basically put that in the flyer that people can read through it and basically expect what I will have guaranteed on my website. I can't do that right now yet because I basically will sell everything I get my hands on. It's not really possible for me to plan that with the capital I have right now, but you guys get the point. So also important to make some flyers. What you can also do, what I already did, is promoting items you sell on eBay. Basically the price for that depends, because I make an example. You sell a ETB for 100 euros. So now there is an option that you can promote this 100 euro ETB on eBay, and the more you promote it, basically the more eBay takes from the price you sold. So basically if you take, I think it's the lowest promotion value, if you put that on, eBay takes like 10 euros from the whole sale if you end up selling it. This is not about making profit. If you do this, it's more about to lure people to your eBay account, see what you sell, and as I said, if they buy from you on eBay, you can put the business card in the package, and then they see you have a website, and they are probably willing to buy more on your website then. So keep that in mind. 30 euros for the business cards. Flyers will cost me 18 euro, and the eBay promote items is just depending on how often and on what the cost is of the product. As I said, I also included my future cost because that is also important. Basically everything monthly I told you about, the website, the services of the video cutting and the thumbnail program, is about 150 euro at the moment. I have to keep that in mind. I have to pay that every month. And also the gear upgrades, like I told you, webcam, microphone, more furniture to make a better background, or even like to expand my warehouse, will also cost a lot. So I planned about 600 euro for that, which is not nothing. Also, obviously, you have to rebuy stock when your stock is finished. Couldn't write a price for that because that's depending on what a collection I buy, how the cash flow is. Cash flow, by the way, is a keyword. You always need to make sure that you can always buy something new and sell something new, even if you don't make the biggest margin. Just make sure your cash is flowing and that you don't buy inventory you're stuck with in the end. I also included keep doing ads in my future costs. I don't do ads yet, like Facebook ads, for example, because my website is not online yet, but I have to do it somewhat in the future time, but I don't know when I will do it, because buying paid ads is not really worth it if people don't know you yet. Like, for example, now I just have a small viewer base, and even if I make paid ads on Facebook, people never really heard of me. So I will wait for that until I have more traffic on my website, and then I can maybe do paid ads. And that is what I also can recommend. Also, I have to buy more cards, more flyers, obviously. Depending on what the traffic is, I will buy more of them. So yeah, a lot of hidden costs, guys. So all in all, after this whole video, what do we learn? We learn, don't start a Pokemon business. It's just too expensive. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but as you guys can see, there is a lot of hidden costs, and that brings us to a total cost of stock. I bought 4,000 euros of stock. It is 2,000 more now, so it's 6,000. And just the costs beside the stock I already paid are about 700. It's about a little bit more than 800 because I forgot to include the ring light. But yeah, as you can see, guys, if you start with a low amount of cash like I did, I only started with 5k. You can't just think about it saying, ah, okay, I have 5k, no, I need to buy at least 4,900 of stock. No, that's not how it works. You need to make a pay plan on what you need to spend money at, and then you will see there is a lot more than just buying stock. And if you only start with 5,000 euros, paying like 800 euros for just like material and services and all that to get the website close to be going is a lot, because that's almost 20% of your whole money. So yeah, and this didn't even include my future costs, which I will have. So it is a lot, guys. It is really a lot. But as I said, guys, there is one keyword which you should always keep in mind when you want to create a Pokemon card business, and that is cash flow. Cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. Like Bruce Lee said, be like water, flow, just flow, be like cash and flow. Something like that. But yeah, it is really important that you don't get stuck on something. For example, if you buy a collection, don't buy, if you start a business, don't buy 5,000 euros of base set, because if you only have like 5 packs or 6 packs of base set, this is an extreme example, obviously, but if you only have 6 packs of base set and you spend 5,000 euros, heavy packs, 5,000 euros on it, that is not going to bring your business cash flow, because people never heard of you. And buying something like a base set, if you buy that from someone, you want that person to be trusted because it's very expensive, and nobody is going to buy base set packs from you if they don't even know your name or your brand. So what I have in the background, everything I bought is pretty much modern and stuff people will still buy. So I'm not too worried about it on getting stuck of it. It's pretty nice stuff I have, actually. I'm very glad I got like a decent collection. So this is basically the tip I can give you guys. Just stick with modern sets for the beginning, or sets people like, basically, because then you can never do something wrong. And if you got your name out there and people know you and you have some sales, you can also maybe look to invest in some collector's items. But first, start with simple stuff. let the cash flow. So this was my video about all the cash I spent so far creating a Pokemon card business. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have some questions, let me know in the comment. I will keep you updated on the business stuff. I will probably make some more videos about that. I will also, the next video will probably, I will show you the whole collection I bought, and I'm pretty hyped for that because it's a pretty cool collection in my opinion. And with that, thank you so much for watching. Poke Eyes out.